than the basswood that I typically work with.
Okay, so we've got breaking news in the weather department. That storm that we were talking about, that's right now in parts of Abbeville and, well, it's moving into Abbeville County right now. This has a tornado warning with it. That means that it's got radar indicated rotation. This includes downtown Abbeville. This is a tornado warning, so you need to take this very seriously. We've been watching this storm for the past 2 hours, and right around here, just north of Calhoun Falls, this is the area that we're going to have to watch very closely. So this is a tornado warning. It's in effect until 6:45 p.m. for all of Abbeville County, pretty much, and the southern part of Anderson County. This is a rotating thunderstorm. It's headed towards due west at 6:02 p.m. Donalds, 6:10 p.m. Ware Shoals at around 6:17 p.m. If you hear your town listed, make sure you go to your tornado safe spot. That is an interior room away from doors and windows. This is pretty serious, folks. You know, we were watching this storm and we've been talking about that chance that maybe a tornado warning could be issued with that. But there's your area of rotation right here. That's the most dangerous part of the storm, passing just north of Calhoun Falls right now. So again, tornado warning in effect for Abbeville County. That includes downtown Abbeville, includes Lowndesville. Does not include due west, but for all those areas that are just to the west of Greenwood, does not include Greenwood County. But again, this is a tornado warning that is in effect. That means we have radar indicated rotation embedded with this thunderstorm. It's the only storm on the board right now that currently has a tornado warning with it, but this is tracking northeast like that. So everybody who's to the south of I-85, south of Anderson, it's not going to be impacting Anderson. That's the good news. It's tracking basically right along like that. Sydney's in control of the radar here, so as this lifts up to the northeast, this could be impacting due west. This is headed in your general direction. You're right on the border of where the tornado warning is currently located, but if you're in Lowndesville, go to your tornado safe spot right now, especially if you're just to the north of Calhoun Falls. You need to go to a tornado safe spot right now. That is away from doors and windows, a closet or a bathroom. Those places are perfect. If you're in a mobile home, you don't need to be in a mobile home right now. Those can be picked up and thrown very easily. So if you have a nearby tornado safe spot, those are the places you need to go to right now. So again, due west, you're in the path of this storm. The rain will be
The National Weather Service in Greenville-Spartanburg has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Anderson County in upstate South Carolina, Abbeville County in upstate South Carolina, until 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 5:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 11 miles west of Abbeville, or 4 miles southeast of Lowndesville, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Abbeville and Lake Secession around 6:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Other locations impacted by this dangerous thunderstorm include Anderville. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. If on or near Lake Russell, get away from the water and move to safe shelter immediately. If you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Severe thunderstorms can produce large capsizing waves, even on small bodies of water. Move into dock and seek safe shelter now. Do not be caught on the water in the thunderstorm. Please report damaging winds, hail, or flooding to the National Weather Service by calling toll-free 1-800-267-8101 or by posting on our Facebook page or tweet it using hashtag NWSGSP.
Potential. Go to an interior safe spot right now, 624 due west. You got plenty of lead time if you're in
extensively.
It gets to you, but that's the area right there. That's the most dangerous part of the storm. It's a low top supercell, but there's a chance that that could produce a tornado. So we've got all the indications there that there could be some hail, there could be some lightning. Sydney switching over to the debris tracker, and obviously right now it looks like a big mess on the screen, but if there is anything that would indicate that debris is being lofted, we're going to search for it right here. And at this time, I'm not really seeing that in large part, but what we do have are those rotating winds. You've got inbound winds going towards the radar and outbound winds away from the radar. So we've been watching this, Sydney, and as you know, we saw this storm hold together pretty well over towards Atlanta, and now it's entered our area. So, Sydney, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and toss it over to you.
Yeah, Griffin, like he's been monitoring the last couple of hours, it's been a pretty strong storm system as it moved over the lake there. It did actually intensify ever so slightly. As of right now, it looks like it is just holding pretty steady. And as we take a closer look and still have indications of that hook signature, it has weakened ever so slightly over the last 10 minutes or so, but still seeing that. And we are still seeing some very broad rotation. We're seeing that green meeting the red. So if you are in the line of this tornado, you do need to take shelter, get to the lowest level of your home, your building, wherever you are at this moment, and really try and find the most interior level of your home away from windows. We'll put a track on it with where the actual signature is here, pushing towards the northeast, towards due west over the next 20-30 minutes or so. We're talking level land 620, due west by 626. These are the areas that are right in the line of this tornado. So we're continuing to watch it as we look at the actual, we'll put it in loop here. Still holding pretty steady, pushing towards the northeast. We are seeing that potential for some strong winds. What are you seeing here, Griffin, too?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm watching the Weather Service chat room. They normally give us updates, minute by minute as we get more information available. And we don't have any new confirmation just yet. If anything visual, we haven't had any reports come in that there is a tornado down, but it's still rotating. The wind velocity, you got the inbound and outbound winds. Those are still showing up on radar. And thankfully, there's Sydney showing it for you right now. So you've got winds flowing up this way towards the radar, which is located right off of 85. Many of you already know where Live Super Doppler 4 is located. If you drive down to I-85 in Greenville, winds are flowing like that towards the radar. Then you've got winds flowing away from the radar. That's what's being shown in red there. So if there is an area of rotation, this is going to be passing just east of State Highway 81, just south of Lowndesville. Then you've got this main highway that connects Abbeville and Lowndesville. Looks like it's passing over top of it right now. We just got a more recent scan here on Live Super Doppler 4 HD. So that means that that velocity scan was behind by around 2 minutes-ish, so it was back here about 2 minutes ago. This is where it's tracking right now, passing just south of Highway 284. So Entryville, Lowndesville, Abbeville, all these places that are within the tornado warning polygon, this is something you need to take seriously. The good news is, the biggest population center we have in this area is Abbeville. And even though you're in the tornado warning polygon, I think I can say with confidence that this is going to be passing just to the northwest of you. So downtown Abbeville, it looks like a miss, but you're still within that tornado warning polygon, and the tornado warning continues until 6:45 p.m. So until we can give you an official all clear, stay in your shelters. Make sure you stay in that interior room away from doors and windows. Due west, you guys are not necessarily included in that tornado warning polygon, but the storm is headed in your general direction. So if we see any extension of this warning, you guys are definitely up next. Here are those arrival times. Looks like it's on top of Brownlee Crossroads right now, Fairs Crossroads. It'll be in your neck of the woods in about 10 minutes. Dixie High School, you've got until 6:24 to get to that interior room away from doors and windows. Any of these places that, if you live near any of those places, you guys definitely need to take action because we've been discussing that chance that severe storms may develop. and it's coming to fruition, unfortunately. You know, we've got that semi-favorable environment, probably not the same environment that they saw in New Orleans last night where we had the EF3 tornado damage, but this is something you do definitely need to take seriously. Sydney, if you can, if we could zoom in a little bit more on that area, that hook echo that we're watching here, try to get some more cross streets to pop up. This main highway here, that looks like a pretty populated corridor. I'm sure that Highway 71 it's called. So anybody along Highway 71, it's on top of you right now. That's the area that we're going to have to watch. And again, we don't recommend that you go outside and try to look and see if there actually is a tornado there. That puts you in more danger than it's worth. So stay inside, wait for this thing to pass. Fairfield Church Road, right on top of you right now. Looks like that is Gasaway Farm Road. That's near you as well. So we've got Bulls Horn Road here. Any of these cross streets that you hear me, if you're familiar with any of these streets, make sure you go inside and stay away from doors and windows until this thing passes. Looks like Martins Hill Road headed in your general direction as well, passing just south of Brownlee Crossroads. This is the most dangerous part of the storm here. Now let's go back and check the chat room here, see if we have any more updates. As of right now, we don't have anything else from the Weather Service. Looks like they're still just calling this a radar indicated rotation. So we still don't know yet for sure if there's anything down, but Sydney, you know, I was a little bit worried. You know, I would say if this was nothing leading up to this event, but it was that chance that we might have something, and here we go. We've got that tornado warning.
Yeah, and we've been seeing that rotation. It was really holding steady for quite some time. We figured any minute now that tornado warning would be issued, and we are still seeing that signature hook there as we are working its way closer to that due west area. We'll put a track on here for where that main signature hook is, pushing towards the northeast here. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we're talking Flat Rock Church, 613 Levelland, 622 and 623. We're heading towards Springfield Baptist Church, and then due west, you are not too far behind that. So lots to watch with this particular system. Let's switch on over and see if we are seeing any wind shear with it. Yeah, so where we are seeing these dark blue kind of blobs here, that's indicating some wind shear where we are seeing that rotation possible. And as we look a little bit closer in, these are the areas that is towards Will Johnson Road. Lots of rotation indicated there. Let's head over to the other area showing that. Not picking up on any road names right there, but we're talking just south of Brownlee Crossroads. At this point, we'll put our live Super Doppler for HD right now. Still seeing that hook echo signature there, very prevalent just east of Lowndesville. So we're watching a lot with this, but I also want to zoom out and just show you the full picture of what we've been tracking, because we still have some pretty strong storms even as we head a little bit further north into North Carolina. We'll go back to that tornado warning in just a second, but all across Sky Valley, south of Franklin, into Cashers, just west of Brevard, that's where we are seeing still some very strong tornado warnings at this point. So, or not tornado warnings, strong storms. But let's take another look at this tornado warning that is still active right now. It looks like all right, we're looking at our chat, double checking we're not seeing any more updates with this one, but we'll put this in rotation. Still seeing that active tornado warning moving quickly towards due west. We're talking very strong winds. That potential for hail is also there. If you are in that warning, you need to get to the lowest level and most interior spot of your home or building or wherever you might be, away from windows. And over the next 20 minutes or so, it'll be moving quickly out of due west and into areas closer towards the Princeton area, just south of Fountain Inn, towards Ware Shoals. So lots to watch here with this one. Anything else you're seeing, Griffin?
No, not at this time. I'm keeping a close eye in the chat room. I'm getting these just these tornado warnings posted to social media right now. Certainly something that we feared would happen. It's one of those times where we thought we'd have that low-end chance of severe weather, and unfortunately for folks in Abbeville County, it's happening for you guys. Now, here's the good news. Those of you that are looking at the map right now, if you're to the west of that cell, so if you're in Lowndesville, I think we can go ahead and give you an all clear. This is well past you, it looks like, and it's tracking up to the northeast. So we can give you guys an all clear if you're in Lowndesville. That's the good news. Now, for everybody else who is in eastern Abbeville County, kind of between Anterville and Abbeville, stay in your safe places for a little bit longer. Go to an interior room away from doors and windows. This is a situation that, you know, could be life-threatening. We don't quite know for sure if there's anything down yet, but the tornado warning, the tornado indicators are definitely there. You've got a hook echo, the rotation, I would say, at least the reflectivity, I guess, it maybe doesn't look quite as strong here. We've got the arrival time showing up on the map there. Buck stand coming towards you at 6:17 p.m. due west, still looking on time at 6:20 p.m. So we've been keeping a close eye on due west. That's one of those communities that have still been popping up here. So Donald's 6:27 for you, Blue Heaven at around 6:36 p.m. So looks like that most dangerous part of the storm still kind of crossing over Highway 71. That is State Highway 71, and there it is here. Not quite as well defined, we will say. You know, this was looking like a pretty dangerous storm when it was kind of closer towards Lowndesville. It's still kind of this big mess of downpours. If you're in due west right now, the rain's coming down, but the actual most dangerous part of the storm is going to be located down here in that southwestern corner of it. So as of right now, due west, you know, stay inside. There's a chance that the Weather Service may reissue the warning here and extend it further over into eastern Abbeville County or even into Greenwood County. No sign of them doing that just yet, so we're going to keep a close eye on that.
Well, and Griffin, actually, they literally just did. They did extend that tornado warning.
Okay, looks like they've extended the warning then.
And it's located about 7 miles northwest of Abbeville, or 7 miles southeast of Lake Succession.
Okay, so they are going to continue that warning. We're going to stay with this so long as the warning is active. And again, this is going to be passing just north of Abbeville. Looks like the Abbeville itself taken out of the tornado warning polygon. So downtown Abbeville, all clear for you from this particular storm. If you're in Abbeville listening to us, this storm is not going to be impacting you. It's going to be impacting places to the northwest of you as you travel down State Highway 72 and State Highway 28 in particular. Between Anterville and Abbeville here, this is the main area we got to watch right around here. So zooming in a little bit more on this general area here in Abbeville County, this is, if you're watching us in Greenville, this is well down to the south. Unfortunately, this is the only severe storm that we currently have on the board. It was one of those days where maybe we get something, maybe we don't, and unfortunately we are. So we're going to stay with this. 4's Crossroads, another one of those communities that's in the path of this. You want to take shelter right now. Brownlee Crossroads, kind of too close to call for you guys. Stay sheltered for a little bit longer. Wait for the storm to pass. You've got Arborville, which is on the edge of that polygon, but if you're watching us in Arborville, I would probably err on the side of caution and head inside, interior room, closet, bathroom. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's all the more important to get the point across. This is a pretty dangerous storm that we're dealing with here. 6:16 is the time right now. There's that broad area of rotation that we have here. This is good. It's good that it's kind of looking a little bit more broad, Sydney, wouldn't you say? You know, it's not quite as focused as it was a couple scans ago. Sydney's showing the shear product that we have here. We've got a couple blips of what's called the wind shear, looking especially strong down to the south along Highway 71 and towards Highway 28 there. But again, still got the hook a little bit. You see it, kind of that hook echo right here, classic supercell feature that we normally deal with. And you've got a forward flank downdraft that's here just to the west of Highway 20. You may have some embedded hail with that just to the west of 20, and then back behind that you've got the rotating winds on the rear flank downdraft of the storm here. So one more time for you, the arrival times for that leading edge of the heavy rain. You've got Dixie High School. It's coming up on you now, the more torrential downpours. So Dixie High School is right about here. The area that we're really concerned with is still about 5 to 6 miles to the southwest of you. So you're still in the path of it. Stay sheltered just a little bit longer. You've got Lighthouse Christian Academy. It's about 8 minutes away from you, that big shield of heavy rain that we're seeing here. And then Donald's, it's about 10 minutes away from you, those heavier downpours. But again, we're mainly focused on this area. right here. So that is Highway 72 down to the south. You've got Highway 28 that comes out of Abbeville right here. The most dangerous part of the storm, that'll be in Fair's Crossroads or near Fair's Crossroads within about 5 minutes. So again, tornado warning continues for all of the shaded area that you see here in Abbeville County. So as this storm lifts up to the northeast, we're going to track it minute by minute for you. Sydney, I'll toss it over to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this does continue to have this warning extended a little bit further towards the northwest. Fortunately, though, that hook echo that we've been watching over the last 15 minutes or so, it does appear like it's not quite as defined as it initially was. The velocity still showing that rotation. It's very broad at this point with the latest scan from our live Super Doppler 4 HD. So very broad rotation doesn't mean we couldn't see still that the impacts from a tornado warning. So we're seeing that rotation indicated on our radar at this point. Still, as we put it in motion, pushing towards the northeast, very fast moving tornado warning area that we're watching, quickly approaching the due west area. And we're seeing that indication of rotation, very strong winds, even the possibility of hail. Okay, and our producers are telling me now we have a couple photos that have been shared with us. Okay, so this looks like it's coming from, this is from Jody Barnhart, who is near the path of this storm. What's kind of eerie is that the sunshine is out when you've got that, what looks like a funnel cloud off in the distance. It's a little bit hard to say exactly whether or not, now there you go, that's a very clear funnel cloud that we have here. That's a very nice picture that somebody sent in there. That's from Calhoun Falls, where this picture was taken. So I believe Calhoun Falls was actually to the south of that, of where the base of that tornado is located. So that means it's not obscured by the rain. You know, if you look off in the distance, that was a really good photo that you saw there. That definitely had a funnel cloud with it. And this is that same storm. So we can say with confidence that there's a chance, there's a tornado still there, still rotating. So that was from Calhoun Falls. Sydney's showing us the debris product right now. So as we look at it, the good news is, you know, it looks like a big mess of colors, but what we're really looking for is a deep shade of blue, because that means what the radar is showing us is that when you've got these red colors here, that means it's all just rain, and that the returns are really related to each other. There's a high correlation coefficient, it's called. When that correlation coefficient gets lower, that means you could have objects that are being thrown around by a potential tornado. The good news is we're not really seeing that here. So that's usually the telltale indicator that something is down. That's does not appear to be the case this time around. So what we've got to stick with, we still got to be on guard here. You know, there's still that radar indicated velocity where the winds are kind of rotating at the base of that updraft, which is still right about here. Looks like it's crossing over Highway 28 right now. So if you're in Anterville right now, I think we can go ahead and give you an all clear as well, because this is tracking up to the northeast. It's passing to the southeast of you. So if you're in Anterville, we'll go ahead and give you an all clear from this. And if you're just tuning in to watch us, or you're watching us from Abbeville, passing to the north of you as well. Looks like Fair's Crossroads, Buckstand, and due west. These are the more populated places that we'll have to be concerned with for that for this potential tornado. We can't quite call it a tornado yet, but that picture we saw coming to us from Calhoun Falls, that was a really telling picture. That was certainly a funnel cloud. That first picture was a little bit more difficult to tell, but that second one, there's definitely something there, Sydney, as far as the rotation goes. Well, and that's another good point. If you can safely do so, and you can send us these photos, of course, once it is safe and you are in the all clear. If you have any photos, you can go to WYFFnews4.com and go to our You Local shots, and you can submit those photos and we will show them on air. It's also a good indication of what we're actually seeing in areas that have already maybe seen impacts from the strong storm. It helps us better explain and really describe what future areas are going to see as it continues tracking towards the northeast.
Yeah, so tornado warning continues until 6:45 p.m. for Abbeville County. Fortunately, this is the only active warning in our area at the moment. Still tracking northeast at 35 miles per hour. We're gonna really hone in on this one particular cell. It is For sure, a supercell thunderstorm, because this started, I believe, maybe about 30, 40 miles east of Atlanta, and now it's making its way into our area. So it's coming up on Highway 184, so just south of Due West, east of Antroville. We've already given you an all clear in Antroville, so that's good. Well, this storm is passing to the south of you. Due West, still kind of too close to call. You know, there's a chance that that warning could be extended further up to the northeast to include places like Cokesbury, but fortunately, as of right now, has not happened just yet. We're still keeping a close eye in the Weather Service chat room to see if that warning is extended. But Sydney, you see right there, I mean, that's even just in the reflectivity, you've got certainly some rotation here that is just south of Highway 184. 4's Crossroads, it's one of those communities we've mentioned for about the past 10 minutes now. It's not over yet, and it's coming up on you right now. There you see it right there. Some pretty well-defined hook echo here. So 4's Crossroads, you've got about 2 or 3 minutes before this comes up on you. Get to an interior room away from doors and windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stuff could be being thrown around by this potential tornado. You want to take this seriously. Dixie High School, you've got about 10 minutes before this, before the most dangerous part of that storm comes up on you. Same goes for Due West, another one of those communities we've mentioned for quite a while now. It's coming up on you within the next 10 minutes, that most dangerous part of the storm that we're seeing right here. And we've seen the picture of the funnel cloud with it. Pretty solid indication that it's rotating. It could be producing a tornado, albeit probably not as big as what we saw, you know, late last night in New Orleans, but it's still not nothing, and it could be a life-threatening situation. So Due West coming up on you. Looks like the velocity is still there. The rotation's still there, but maybe not as well defined as it was a few scans ago, but the reflectivity is certainly telling, City. No question about that. Like, check this out. I mean, it's definitely there. Something's rotating.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing indications of that rotation, especially where Griffin was pointing, that hook at the very tail end of this system. We'll put another track on it just to make sure the timeline is matching up. But overall, I mean, it's still working its way towards Due West at about 6:33. 4's Crossroads 6:26, and Dixie High School. Fortunately, school is let out at this point, but if you live near Dixie High School, 6:33, you can expect to see those impacts over the next few minutes.
Okay, it looks like we've got some more photos that we're getting ready to share with you. We'll have those up for you in just a moment. But again, Sydney, as you mentioned, it's there. It's still something to take seriously. I've still got the Weather Service chat room up right here. We're keeping an eye on it behind me here. So just if there's any more updates, we'll certainly pass those along. But the tornado warning continues until 6:45 p.m. But further down to the southwest, you know, you've got downtown Abbeville. We've already given you the all clear. Due West, we can't give you an all clear just yet. It's still kind of coming up on you right now. And 4's Crossroads is right about here. This is the most dangerous part of the storm. It's on top of you right now. But once this passes, then we'll be able to give you an all clear. Arborville, you're still kind of a little too close to call for you guys. So State Highway 201 looks like it's passing over that right now. There's Sydney drawing out the track for you. We've got 4's Crossroads passing within the next 2 to 3 minutes, and then Dixie High School within the next 10 minutes. So those are the main communities that we are watching right now. Sydney, if you don't mind, if we could zoom the picture out a little bit more, and for everybody who's just tuning in, we can get you kind of caught up on what's happening here. We've got an active tornado warning right now for Abbeville County. We had a photo of a funnel cloud taken here in Calhoun Falls as this storm passed about half an hour ago, just north of Calhoun Falls, and that was a pretty great picture there. Thank you very much for sending that. Hopefully they were sheltered at the time that they took that. But this is the tornado warning that we're watching here. As it lifts up to the northeast, there's a chance this could be extended. We don't have a word yet from the Weather Service on whether or not this warning will be extended. We're keeping a close eye on that. There's Sydney looping the radar for you. And this is Greenville is one of the more populated places in our viewing area. This is well to the south of Greenville by about an hour's drive time. So this is Abbeville County. You've got Greenwood County here. We had what looks like just a little lightning strike that popped up there near Cokesbury. But a classic supercell thunderstorm, albeit a kind of messy and disorganized one that is certainly rotating and certainly capable of producing a tornado. So we're going to stick with this just a little bit longer and await confirmation for whether or not the Weather Service is going to continue that warning.
Yeah, that's right, Griffin. And as of right now, the warning is still continued until 6:45. Would not be surprised if they do extend this, or at least extend the warning out to include more of the due west area pushing towards the northeast. So still a very active tornado warning until 6:45 this evening. We are seeing signs of rotation. So if you are in the line of this tornado warning, you really need to take shelter, get to the lowest level of your home or building, and definitely away from windows.
Okay, so I think we have those photos to share with you. These are new photos that we've received from Jody. Again, this is from Abbeville. She took this picture from Abbeville, and that appears to be the same storm that we've been watching, you know, from Abbeville. That looks like it definitely would be taken from Abbeville because it's passing to the north, and you're kind of passing to the north, looking off to the north. And then Austin sent us this photo of the funnel cloud from Calhoun Falls. Telltale sign that, I mean, there's something down, and that is a very easy call out that that's a funnel cloud, potentially a tornado. You know, doesn't look like the cloud is actually touching the ground there, but it doesn't have to actually be a tornado. It just means that the condensation isn't really developing near the ground, but even if it isn't, that means the tornado could still be there. So funnel cloud, tornado, there's something there, and we're going to stick with it a little bit longer. Looks like Weather Service might have just canceled the warning. Hold on one moment. Looks like yes. Yes, they have. Okay, so the tornado warning looks like it has now been canceled. They are not going to extend this tornado warning. That's certainly a relief. We're going to try to gather as much information as we can, but the good news is the danger is over with this potential severe storm, potential tornadic storm. For due west, we can give you an all clear for the moment. You know, there's a chance it could spin back up, but for now, looks like we can give you an all clear from that particular storm down in Abbeville County. Then we've got more heavier downpours showing up in the mountains right now, none of which are severe, but for the moment, the tornado threat for Abbeville County has since subsided. So we're going to continue to follow up on this and gather more information here in our newsroom as this develops. Nigel, I'll go ahead and toss it to you if you're ready.
All right, Griffin, thank you very much. And a lot of stuff going on weather-wise right now, but we want to get to some news in our area happening right now.